on the day, company reaching a tentative deal to end that worker strike. Phil LeBeau standing by with the first on CNBC interview, the head of Boeing Striking Machinist Union. Phil, take it away.
Thank you, Scott. Let's bring in John Holden, president of IAM 751. John, you've got 33,000 members who are voting tomorrow on this proposed contract. What's your sense of how things are going to go?
Thanks for having me. I think it's going to be a tight vote. There's a lot of emotion tied here. There's a lot of history tied here. And, we've been able to negotiate the best that we could. And we're hoping that our members will consider it. And that's where we're at.
Your deal, the proposed deal, does not include reinstating the pension. And I've heard from a number of members when I was out there in the Puget Sound area saying, we want the pension back. Is that a deal breaker?
It is for many members, absolutely, and it's a righteous fight to go after a defined benefit pension. It was wrong to lose it in the first place, but we're, 10 years later. It's certainly never easy to get something back that we lost 10 years prior, but that doesn't mean our members don't deserve it. We'll see how it goes.
But you do have a 35% raise over 4 years that is on the table right now. I think the average machinist makes about $75,000 a year. Does a 35% raise, does that make people out there feel like I can live in one of the most expensive areas in the country to live? Because I heard from people out there who said, look, it's too expensive to live out here based on what Boeing's paying me right now.
Yeah, we've certainly had some extreme cost of living increases here in our region, and it's tough. These are the highest wage increases that we've ever negotiated. It's some very solid increases for every member that will certainly be very helpful for them in living expenses and everyday stuff. So it's a very good part of the deal is the 35% general wage increases over the 4-year period.
John, have you talked with Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg? Do you have a sense of what he believes in terms of his game plan?
I haven't talked to him.
Does that concern you at all? Would you like to have a conversation with him?
I'm focused on what our members need and the priorities that they tell us are important. Pension was a piece of it, so was wages, so was, work-life balance and vacation and sick leave. So were many other items. And we had success at the bargaining table on many of those items, but not everything. And sometimes that's how bargaining goes. You set your sights high, you set lofty goals to try and press further and further and expand what you can provide for your members. You never get everything you want, but we did very well. And it was the responsible decision to put this in front of our members. That's the power of our membership, and they will make the decision tomorrow.
John, it sounds like you think you're pretty much gone as far as you can go with the company. What if your members reject this? How much longer do you expect the strike to go?
Well, I'll get back to the bargaining table. We'll continue to push for the things that our members say are important, and we'll continue to strike. That's our only option, and our members will make that choice.
One of the issues that has been front and center for Boeing in recent years has been the drop in manufacturing quality. That is, there's nobody who argues that right now. But, it's a lot of machinists who are on the line, who are doing the work, who are lifting, the key pieces of the planes, putting them together. How do you explain this drop in quality? Because your members are front and center in that discussion in the drop in quality.
There was a lot of changes in the quality management system that we have been sounding the alarm on for over 5 years. In fact, the company wouldn't listen as they eroded some of the quality requirements within the manufacturing system. And when they wouldn't listen to us, we went to the FAA. And thankfully, the FAA did restore tens of thousands of quality inspections that should have never been removed. And so part of this is on management undermining the integrity of the manufacturing system. We're all a part of this. This is our reputation. This is the work we do. And we are doing our part to build safe, quality airplanes for the flying public.
John, one final question. The quality changes that have been put in place with more inspectors there, do you think that you have improved the quality, let's say, over the last 6 months?
I think we've got a long way to go, and it's not just inspectors. It's also training. It's also to ensure that you have the processes that you use to build the airplane aren't undermined, changed, and weakened. And we will continue to be on this company and use the FAA if we have to make sure that we can maintain the integrity of the manufacturing system.
John, thank you for joining us today. That's John Holden, president of IAM 751, that's the union that is with Boeing and the machinists out in the Puget Sound area. Scott, I'll send it back to you. Don't forget, tomorrow we get Boeing's results, Scott, first thing in the morning, and then we have an exclusive with Kelly Ortberg, CEO of Boeing. First chance we've had to talk with him, not only about this strike, but so many other things. You don't want to miss that interview.
We will not. Phil, appreciate you. Thank you. Phil LeBeau covering the